Hi, I'm attorney Flavio Vimboco. I practice immigration law. I'm doing this video for couples who will be interviewed by the USCIS in order to get the green card. This goes to petitioner, the U.S. citizen, and also the alien, the immigrant who is applying for green card. The title of the video is the 10 things you never do in an interview with the USCIS. So, number one, what don't do in an interview? Well, you never lie to the immigration officer. Usually when they ask you a question, they already pretty much know the answer. So if you have some kind of a criminal background, and if you ever committed any crime, even if it's like public urination or disorderly conduct, if they ask if you ever actually committed those crimes, you say yes. Yeah, you disclose it. Because if you don't, they will interpret that as lying, and then you lose the credibility right off the get-go, right off the bat. The second thing you don't do, number two, it's to interrupt the immigration officer. Immigration officer is there to ask you questions. So he asks you the question, and then you answer. When he is speaking, you don't interrupt him or her because he's in a position of authority there, and that might set the officer off a little bit. Number three, what you don't do, you never do in an interview with the USCIS. Well, you don't get into a fight with the immigration officer. Well, he will ask you a few questions that might be offensive, and you might think, well, why is this guy asking me those questions? My marriage is true. How dare this officer ask my marriage is not? My marriage is true. Well, don't get offended. Answer the question. The officer is doing his job. There's a lot of fraud when it comes to green cards. They don't know who is who, and they don't know you very well. I mean, they might have done a background check, but usually they know answers. They wanna see you. You don't get to a fight with an officer, because you're gonna lose. The officer is gonna deny your green card, and then you're gonna have to appeal to the BIA. Eventually you get the green card, but it's gonna take a while. So don't fight with the officer, okay? The officer has a better position of power there to decide your green card right there in his hands, his or her hands. The number four, it's always good to break the ice, and even the officers sometimes make jokes, but don't make excessive jokes. That is not, the interview is not a joke. If the officer makes a comment, it's nice to break the ice, and you can go along with that. But then don't take it for granted. Don't think the officer is a clown, or he has no power, or don't diminish the authority of the officer. So don't make the whole thing seem like it's a joke. All right. Number five, I know, you guys are a couple, but one thing that officers usually don't like is when couples talk to each other. You're there to talk to the officer, not to each other. You can talk to each other, afterwards, but not to each other, because if you talk to each other, the officer is going to think that you guys are planning something, you guys are, committing some kind of collusion. Don't talk to each other. Talk to each other afterwards, not before the interview, but during the interview. Don't talk to each other. Holding hands, it's kind of cliche. Almost every couple does that, but it doesn't show anything. They want to see paperwork. They want to see that you're really married, that you live in the same place, that you have joint accounts, that maybe you have children together already, that you have a life together. They want to see photographs. But even if your lawyer have sent photographs, bring more photographs. Again, bring photographs. That's number six. Bring photos. I know your attorney already sent the photos to the immigration, But you bring an album, you bring photos, that were taken after your attorney filed for your green card, because then it shows that the marriage is progressing. It's a marriage that is developing. Couples don't really only take pictures normally for the wedding. They take pictures afterwards. They go to vacation. They go to nowadays you have iPhone, you have smartphones. You take pictures. You have Facebook. We all print those photos. You don't need to get the photos, but bring the prints from Facebook. Show the officer that you have established a life together. Well, number 7, don't forget to bring joint documentation. They want to see that you guys live together, that your mail and her mail are going to the same address, or if the couples are the same sex, husband and husband or wife, both, the couple, they have to receive the mail in the same place. It's even better if you have joint names and joint accounts. I mean, if your electricity, utility bills are both of your names, that means you guys are married and both of you have names in the account that you can pay. So bring joint documentation if you can. Number 8, everything is edited, okay? Number 8 is about edited. When you go, have a positive attitude, have a positive energy. Don't go, just expecting that you're going to be denied, or just don't be nervous. That's not the time to be nervous. The officer is there actually to give you an immigration benefit, the green card. So you were one step away to have your spouse to receive the resident card. Okay, so have a good attitude. So number 9, don't bring a lawyer with you if you don't need one. In the first interview, usually you don't need to bring a lawyer. Why? Because that raises a red flag. The officer is going to think, well, why is this people bringing a lawyer? Do they need a lawyer? I mean, if you have nothing to hide, if you have no legal argument to be made in your defense, why are you bringing a lawyer just to feel better with yourself? No, don't bring a lawyer. Officers like when they see the couple. If you have a child together, bring the child. But don't bring your lawyer, because you didn't commit any crime. And if you get denied, then you're going to need a lawyer in the second interview. But the first interview, if you don't need a lawyer, don't bring a lawyer. Don't raise a red flag. All right? Well, the number 10, look the officer in the eyes. Okay? Look the officer in the eyes. Why? Because the officer doesn't like people who, are like, talking, because the officer doesn't want to think that you're lying. So, you have to look the officer in the eyes, because people generally, that's like, they study that on body language. And people who really doesn't look you in the eye, they're like, looking down, and, they might be lying. And the officer doesn't want to think that you are lying or hiding anything. So, answer the question straight, tell the truth, answer, look at the officer in the eye. Again, this is not a substitute for legal advice. I'm just giving you, some about tips, 10 tips that you should use during the interview. Besides that, just bring your spouse with you and bring whatever you think necessary. But this is not a substitute for legal advice. If you need more legal advice, you should contact a lawyer, an immigration lawyer. It doesn't need to be me, but it should be a lawyer, a real lawyer, licensed to practice immigration law and specialize in immigration law. Okay? If you have any questions, comments, and if you like the video, you can call my office. It's 973-732-7300, 973-732-7300, or you can email me at lawyer.bokel, Boekel, @gmail.com. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope see you again. Thank you.